Activation event. I'm very happy to have you here. My name is Melanie Saxena, and I will be your host for today. So one request, as you are entering, if you could add an A for activator, V for venture, or a G for guest to your Zoom name, along with your location, that would be fantastic. You'll see that some of us have already done this, and Caitlin has pasted those instructions into the chat. Great. As you're doing that, I want to warmly welcome you and give you a little orientation to our call today. So again, my name is Melanie. I am based in New York City, and I want to welcome you and encourage you to join not only regional calls such as this one, but also all calls that we have specific to the US, Australia, this is the UK call, obviously, all over the world. You're welcome to join any call. This is really, truly a global community, and we welcome your participation. Just a moment on what SheEO means to me. I was so excited to learn about SheEO in 2015 when I first met Vicki at a conference in New York, and I was just jazzed about the idea of how we would be able to help so many women who have brilliant ideas, have brilliant passion, brilliant execution, and are just being overlooked by the world of financing. And I really wanted to get involved. So that's a little background. Let me tell you about what we're doing today. So our objective today is to introduce the SheEO community and give you an overview for that, because I understand there's a lot of guests here on this call today, and you're probably coming here with a lot of questions and wondering what SheEO is all about and what it means to be involved. These are public calls that we have at these global activation events, and these occur once a month, and they're an opportunity for activators to invite guests and for new people to come to SheEO and learn about us, learn about our team, and learn about what it is that we do. Our usually weekly activator calls follow a slightly different format. So today we have guests from all over the globe. As you'll see, as you look around your gallery, we have guests from the UK, from Netherlands, from France, Spain, Switzerland, Canada, the US, and many more. Our format today is that you will get to hear from the wonderful founder, Vicki Saunders herself. Then we'll hear from a venture. Ventures are entrepreneurs whom we have funded. So we have an exciting venture here today. You'll get to hear from an activator. Activators are those of us who donate funds into the venture fund. And then we'll have breakout groups for you to work in smaller groups and do a fun signature SheEO exercise known as Ask and Give. Then we'll come back to the main room for reflections and a closing. So that is our structure for today. To help us get started, I'd love to ask each of you what it is that you are feeling as you're entering into this space. Jesse was nice enough to play some music to help energize us, but we'd like to get a sense of what it is that you're feeling so that we can use that energy to start our call. So in the chat, you'll see that Caitlin has dropped in a link to Mentimeter. If you could click on that link and share with us what these words are, I will reflect them back to you. Great. So we're feeling excited, curious, eager, engaged, great, tired, me too, I confess, interested, pumped. I'm seeing so many words here. We have coffee. We could all use some of that always. Expansive, more intrigued, alive, connected, thrilled. I'm reading from the chat as well. Fantastic. Thank you for bringing this wonderful energy to this space. We're going to need all of it, and we're going to hopefully replenish you even further for those of you who are feeling tired. So what I want to do next is to pass it on to Vicki Saunders. Vicki?
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much, Nalini. All right, I'm thrilled to have you here. We announced our venture semi-finalists in the UK this morning. Did everyone see that? We're really excited. We're going to share what that looks like after I do a quick overview. But welcome to everyone who's joining us, especially those coming for the first time. So I'm going to share my screen and take you through a little bit of a info on SheEO. So I want to start by reading the credo. And this is, if you're coming to SheEO for the first time, we practice radical generosity, which we believe is core to creating a new model and a better world. We believe in this network that we have all that we need to reach our potential. And we encourage everyone, if you have something to give, please offer it. If you need something, please ask. We are all at different ages and stages and come from different experiences. We're not biased towards people with a business background or people who are activists. We are very open and believe that everyone has something to contribute in this kind of a community. One of the things that's very key about SheEO, we are here with our sleeves rolled up, ready to help one another. We're very action-oriented here. This is a co-created environment built on trust. Everything we do is trust-based. How we put our money into this community, how we support the ventures, trust is core to everything. We're creating a space for women to thrive on their own terms, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. We take our time here and we really consider the future. We weave in all kinds of Indigenous wisdom to what we're doing and really think generations ahead in terms of the work that we're doing here. We celebrate and embolden each other. We amplify each other's voices. And critically, we're getting to this place where we each own our greatness, knowing that we have something to contribute here. So the thing that kind of started us all off at the beginning with SheEO is this outrageous, insane statistic that doesn't seem to get any better after decades. 2.2% of venture funding goes to women, 51% of the population. And for those of you who've heard me say this over and over, I never get tired of saying this. It's literally impossible for these numbers to be the way they are without significant bias built into our structures and our systems. So this is a totally systemic challenge. You can't just solve it by going and creating a women's fund. That's not enough. You have to rethink everything. And so at SheEO, we've really used our imagination. We're not here to level the playing field. We're here to create an entirely new field. And rethink how you create the conditions for women entrepreneurs to thrive, for our capital to create the kind of economy we want. And so we have an ecosystem-based approach to funding. It's not just money and over to the ventures and off you go. It's thinking about the whole ecosystem that's needed. So we come in this model with customers. So all of us are using our buying power to support these ventures to grow. And we come as advisors or coaches. So if you have a skill set that allows some domain expertise for these ventures, you can step in and support on your own terms if you'd like to. We are designed as a global community. So this model is in 5 countries at the moment and on its way to 70 more. And so if you're a business that's selected or that's in this community, or if you're an activator in this community and you have a business, and you're interested in expanding to other markets, you can join other calls and leverage our network in order to grow your business. And our ventures can export more quickly because of the relationships in this community and the ability to grow. So really thinking about it differently, not just money is the answer to everything, but this whole ecosystem helps all of our ventures and all of us outperform. The way it works is you make contributions each month or an annual contribution, and that money is pooled together, and then it's loaned out at 0% interest to ventures who repay that money in 20 equal installments over the 5 years, and then the money's loaned out again. So we look at money as a renewable resource. It's not something you burn through or just accumulate and hold on to. In this model, it's loaned out to those who are doing great work, who need it right now. They build up their businesses with the capacity of support from our community. They pay it back and it's used by someone else. So this contribution that you make just keeps rolling forward forever. And all of our capital is going towards women who are working on the world's to-do list. So every venture is working on one of these challenges that all governments in the world have signed on to the UN SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And given the scale of challenges we are facing on the planet right now, we think that all capital should be going towards the most critical priorities. So at SheEO, that's what we focus on. Where's the highest impact for the capital that we have to work on intractable challenges? And it's working really well. So we have a 95% payback rate globally. We will update these statistics because we're just finishing up a couple campaigns, but we have about 6,000 activators around the world. We've funded 73 ventures, and we're in 5 countries. The goal, our first goal, is to create $1 billion perpetual fund and 1 million women activators around the world who are practicing radical generosity, supporting one another to create equitable systems. You're going to hear from one of our ventures in a minute, which we're really excited about. And as an activator in this network, there are lots of ways for you to engage. As Nalini said at the beginning, we have regular weekly calls and these global calls that are happening. We have an online community where you can find everybody else who's in the network and reach out for support and meet other people around the world. We have learning circles where we're learning about racial justice issues, really decolonizing and deconstructing our thinking so that we can actually create new models in a new world. And we have our sort of famous Ask Give app where we practice radical generosity and support one another. So this idea of we literally have everything that we need in this community to support one another is a key focus for us. And the big challenge that you have here is you step in and practice asking for help. We are literally here to help one another. And so that can only happen if people step in and ask for help. So we're going to practice a bit of that today in a minute. Here's our list. So we're very excited. We announced this morning the Venture semi-finalists, woohoo, from across the UK. And I think we have a few of you on here today. Jessie, can you see who's actually on as Venture semis, or maybe people can put up their hands?
Yes, so I see that we have Jillian is on, I believe Colleen is on, Hina is on. And maybe, Vicki, if you want to stop sharing your screen for a moment, we can get everyone, the semis, to wave to us.
Yeah.
I'll go to gallery view. So if you are a semi-finalist, can you wave your hand wildly? Banasa, Sean is on. Congratulations.
Colleen, nice.
We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, everyone. Really excited to see you all. I think the last thing, I won't go back to my slides, but the last thing I want to say is everything at SheEO is on your own terms. So ventures are supported on their own terms. They set their own milestones and we support them and vote for them based on those milestones and the way that they want to build their business. We don't tell them how to do things. And as an activator, exactly the same thing. If you are excited about this and you want to support ventures and one another, you can jump in to the degree that you want to. There is no guilt. This is an incredibly important thing I want to say over and over. There is no right way to be an activator. If you want to contribute money and you're too busy to help, that money will be used very, very well and roll forward. If you want to jump in and get really involved with the ventures, you can reach out to them if you're excited about them and support them. You can reach out to one another and self-organize whatever it is that you want to do together. This is totally on your own terms. So super flexible, and we hope that you enjoy the experience. I'm going to turn it back over to Nalini.
Thank you so much, Vicki. It is always such a joy to hear from the founder herself and to hear about the statistics, the landscape, and why it is that we all get involved and how to get involved. Next, we're going to introduce to you a venture. So I'm sorry. We are going to go to a venture first. Sorry, I'm getting a chat message. I'm trying to read that fast. Yes, we're going to a venture next, and we're going to go to Ilana Ben-Ari. She's the founder of the Canadian venture 21 Toys. Ilana, if you could unmute yourself.
Yep.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the introduction. So I have just a few minutes. So hi, everyone. I recognize at least one other person from the UK on here. So hi, Sarah. So I am one of the Canadian ventures. So I'm from the 2015 Canadian Ventures from the first year of SheEO in Canada. And I'm a toy designer turned social entrepreneur. So my business, 21 Toys, we design, we're a training and development toy company. So we use toys to teach what textbooks can't. So skills like empathy and failure, which the experts are saying are the future of work, but we stopped valuing and teaching after kindergarten. That's kind of my space. So I do have I'm like trying to figure it out virtually. So this is what the failure toy packaging looks like. And then also this is the empathy toy. So they're abstract, mainly wooden toy pieces that present more like art. And the empathy toy was making some really great headway when I first heard about SheEO. So We're in just over 50 countries, so just through word of mouth, teachers use our toys to teach anything from design thinking to guidance counselors using them to business programs using them. But when I applied for SheEO, we were just about to make inroads into corporate and start working with corporate teams as well as independent facilitators and coaches that use our toys. Because I only have a few minutes, so to flash forward to this year, 2020, like so many of us, impacted my business tremendously. So the week before COVID officially hit, I have a team of 15 facilitators. They were just in Egypt. They're about to go to Peru. We were getting it was like our milestone months. We were doing really well, not just selling into schools and selling into organizations, but we were, starting to secure multi-year partnerships with learning development organizations. And then in the span of 24 hours, we lost about 90 to 95% of our revenue. And that was tremendous and overwhelming and scary. But I have to say, I think SheEO was invented for this moment. SheEO invited us, all the ventures, onto a call. We're all asked, red, yellow, or green, where are you at? We were at a yellow. I'd been really good thanks to SheEO. We had a lot of runway. But it was the community that showed up, not only just spiritually and emotionally. On one of the calls, one of the ventures wasn't able to make payroll, and they employ specifically those that otherwise would be homeless. And how could you let go of a team that is, does not have a home? And one of the other ventures right away said, what is your payroll? And they helped them cover that payroll. And I don't think that, obviously that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't had the SheEO community, but it's the culture and that idea of radical generosity, and that, the way that we use money and our power is so important. For me personally, the community of SheEO in that moment, beyond just how they saved me in the early years, but we immediately got support from coaches, financial, and I was able to not have a panic attack and have to let go of my team, and instead took a deep breath. And we were able to pivot within just a few weeks. So we are now back on track. We're not there yet, but we're back on track to where we were pre-COVID. And that's all thanks to, we've been able to run our empathy toy workshops. I know Sarah has definitely joined, and I'll be inviting the rest of you, but we can ship these physical toys to people's homes, and they can play with us online. And even without a toy, we have a digital toy library we've invented. We'll be doing something similar with our failure toy. But really, empathy and resilience have never been more important than right now. And I think the support that SheEO has given us and the team that I have has made it so that we've been able to take, this fakakta year and make the best out of it. We're now, later today, in the next few hours, I'm going to be launching certification to corporate teams, and we've already been able to launch certification to facilitators, because if we hadn't all been online, we wouldn't be able to connect with our global community of over 50 countries. So we've actually now experienced some really incredible opportunities for us to build a business that's even more aligned with our mission of creating the world's first global community of toy educators and facilitators. But I wouldn't be here or look even remotely well slept if it weren't for the support of the SheEO community.
Thank you so much, Ilana. We're so proud of you and so happy to have you in this network. I was just about to ask, and Caitlin beat me to it. So if you'd like to learn more about Ilana's business, her website and all of her social have been provided into the chat, so please check her out. Next up, we are going to hear from an activator from the UK, Beth. Beth, if you could unmute yourself. There you go.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yes, can you?
Once more. Just click once more. Now you're good. You're good.
Amazing. Sorry, I wanted to start by saying my laptop died this weekend, so I'm struggling on backup plans, so I apologize for that. But as an activator, I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you, first of all, why I gave to this great cause, and then why I got more involved. And it all has to do with the energy and radical approach. So I'm Beth Coloci. I've been living in the UK for 30 years, even though, as you can tell, I'm definitely American. I'm a classic management person. I was an investment banker, a management consultant. I worked at the BBC, and now I've retired and I give away my time, and I'm heavily involved, particularly with art by women. I've become a radical feminist. The older I get, the more you see the injustices in the world. And I was introduced to SheEO by a great friend of mine who said, SheEO is an amazing venture. You have to get involved. And I firmly believe that women should and do help women. And so I immediately got involved. I think I sent my check in or hit the buy button right away. And I thought that I would just sit back and give and that would be it. But instead, I've gotten much more involved. I've, first joined a call, and then I joined an MJ Ryan call. And then I've been facilitating breakouts, and now we've had the voting round, and now I've become a member of the Welcome Circle. And I think the question is why? And I think, first of all, it's the power and the energy of this network. It's amazing. You meet these ventures with all of their ambition, their ideas, what they're doing. And it's so exciting to share ideas of people who are truly trying to make the world better. And then it's also the power of all the activators, because the attitude is very much all the time, I have your back, I can help. On every single breakout group that I've been a part of, there's always somebody who helps somebody right then and there. It's not a couple of weeks later. It's I'll send you an email right afterward and a problem is solved. And that's an amazing amount of energy and power. And then secondly, it's of course the radically different way of doing things. I come from a very traditional background, very traditional training, but I think it's wonderful to see everything from the check-in calls to the waves and hearts that we do, to the way on every one of these calls, everyone has an equal voice. It's amazing. And the openness and the speed of change, the way that SheEO can make things happen. And even the new approaches that we have to take, from Vicky telling us that we need to take the speed dating approach to choosing ventures. I find the radically different way of doing things very empowering. So if you're not yet an activator, I highly recommend activate now, join SheEO, you'll love it, and you'll get more and more involved.
Much for that, Beth. That was a lovely, lovely share of your experience, and then also energy for us to all learn more and get involved. So that is what we're going to take into our next activity, which is our Ask, Give experience. So in a moment, you will all be sent into a small breakout room. In that breakout room, the activity that you will participate in is what I had mentioned earlier, the signature SheEO Ask, Give exercise. So this is an opportunity for you to connect with a smaller group and practice radical generosity. With the ask, you would share what it is that you need help with. We ask you to be courageous. We ask you to think large, because you never know who might be in your group, who might be practicing radical generosity and might want to respond to your ask. Your ask could be personal, it could be professional, it could be anything. We also encourage you to offer a give. What is it that you can offer support with? What is it that you can offer back to the other participants in your group? So there's the ask, there's a give. And then finally, for the guests who are here, we offer you an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about activating or applying, because certainly in your group, in your breakout group, there will be some activators who will be able to share their experiences and maybe answer your questions directly. We ask that every group come back to this main room before we close. Come back to the main room with a 3-word summary of your conversation and someone who's going to share it, because I'll be going around and calling on each of the groups for that. So with that, Jessie will be sending us off to our breakouts. We'll see you back shortly.
Thanks, Nalini. So we're going to have 5 groups today with 7 activators, ventures, and guests each, and we'll come back at 10 to the hour. So you'll have 23 minutes. So we're going to open up the groups now. You'll see a link at the top of your Zoom screen to join your breakout group. Thanks, everyone.
you, Jesse. Hi, everyone. Hope you had an exciting Ask Give experience. For some of you, we know it's the first time, so thank you for leaning into the exercise. What we will do now is we'll go around to each of the groups and ask for a 3-word summary or 3 words of excitement of what it is that you experienced during your group. So I will go around and I will call on the groups. So there was a group led by Janaki.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Jillian.
Yep, that's me. So yeah, I'm one of the semi-finalists, really excited to be here, and we had a really fantastic group. And our 3 words were inspired, co-creation, success, and then someone wanted to squeeze in fun.
Fantastic. I love the squeezing in of fun. Always. Thank you, Jillian, and congratulations to you. Vicky.
I put it in the chat. We are connections, welcoming, and power of the network.
Thank you, Vicky. And Beth.
I'm going to pass to Sarah.
That's me. Sorry. I like the name Beth as well. That's good. Connection. We had positivity. We thought we might have made that word up, and lifting up.
Fantastic. Great. And then we have one more, and I'm so sorry, I do not know how to pronounce your name, but Servene. Please educate me how to pronounce that.
Oh, we switched it to Stephanie.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
I'm going to pass it over to Sean.
Oh, great. So we had synergy, collaboration, and then a really long word, might sound like 2, exhilarating energy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So now we're going to take all that energy that you got in the Ask Give exercise, which was a sneak peek into the radical generosity that you experience all the way through your SheEO community. And we're going to make an ask of you. So if you've had a positive experience, a meaningful experience, and gotten anything to take away from this call, we ask that you stay connected with us. You can stay connected by following us on social, and I'm sure Jesse or Caitlin will drop some of those details into the chat with you. After the call, Jesse always posts on LinkedIn, and so we ask that you tag anyone else in your community whom you think might want to have a taste of this experience. But more than anything, we ask that you participate in this life-changing experience that is truly life-changing for me and for all the other activators and ventures, as you've heard from some of them today, to really join us by activating. To activate is to put your dollars and your pounds, for most of you, into a fund that is truly doing wonderful work, as Vicky had laid out so beautifully in her deck. The commitment is for £71 a month for 12 months for a year of activation. And we really, really ask that you participate. I encourage you. I used to work in consulting, in finance. 6 years ago, I started my own business. And as an entrepreneur and having been on the other side, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate the power of this network. And it's just been really wonderfully meaningful for me. And I know it has been for so many of us. So we encourage you to get involved. If you happen to activate now and you commit to the £71 a month, you'll actually have a chance to participate in the second round of voting. So you met the semifinalists earlier in the call. So there will be a second round of voting for the finalist round, and that will take place in January. So if you activate before then, you will be able to actually vote on the first ever SheEO ventures coming out of the UK. So that's an exciting opportunity. All the details on how to activate are going to be provided in the chat, and they are there right now. Caitlin has just posted that in. And again, follow us on social, get involved. We invite you to invite your friends. You can attend as many of these activation events as you like. And we really encourage you to get involved and welcome you to our community. I'm going to pass it back to Jesse.
Thank you, Nalini. So building on what she just shared, we'd love to launch a quick Zoom poll. So you'll see this pop up on your Zoom screen now. If you are interested in activating, we'd love to know via the poll. If you met women on this call through your breakout group that you'd like to keep in touch with, let us know. And the last question is for any guests who might be interested in activating and have questions. Let us know if you'd like to connect with an existing activator, such as Nalini or Beth or those that you heard from earlier, for a one-on-one virtual coffee chat, and we can get that set up for you. So let us know your responses in the chat. And then building on what Nalini shared, I also wanted to show you quickly what it looks like when you sign up as an activator. So I'm going to share my screen briefly. And so when you go to activate, you will see this screen. Caitlin's going to add the URL in the chat. You go to community.sheo.world/sign up. And community is our online community platform. So when you activate, you're actually creating your profile on the community directly. And as soon as you sign up, you'll have access to the community, to weekly activator support calls that we host every week. You'll have a chance to build relationships, to ask for help, to receive and offer your support to other radically generous women in the community. And we also have a searchable directory in community that you can use to find and connect with 4,000 plus activators and ventures globally, which is very exciting. So when you go to this page, you'll read the SheEO Credo. We've already practiced some of this today in our breakouts. If you need something, ask. If you have something to give, please offer it. And then you'll be invited to share your name and your email. And from there, you will receive an email verification to confirm that it's you. And then just use the button in that email to complete your activator profile and select your payment option. So we have most of the women on the call today are from the UK. So we have a monthly payment option, £71 per month, or a one-time £850 per year. And how it works is that of your activator contribution, 90% goes directly to the perpetual fund in the UK that will be loaned out in the form of 0% interest loans to support 5 of the amazing semifinalists that we got to meet earlier today. And 10% goes towards the activator experience. And as soon as you sign up, you'll be able to start accessing the community and building relationships and getting the support that you need. The one thing I do want to note is that Nalini and Beth both shared how they have gotten very involved with the SheEO community, but being an activator is on your own terms. So I don't want to scare anyone with if there's an expectation about time commitment. Beth and Nalini are laughing and smiling. And so it's completely on your own terms. You can be as involved as you like, but simply by contributing money to the fund, you are making a huge impact on the lives and the impact of the ventures. And so everything beyond that is optional and up to you based on your time and your interest and capacity. So with that, just wanted to share 2 last things. The first is a link to a short feedback form on today's event. So we would love to hear how this event was for you. We know many of you joined a SheEO call for the first time, so thank you again. And then the last thing is that we always like to take a group photo at the end so that we can capture and share out what our experience was like today on social media, especially on LinkedIn. I'll be tagging you all, and as Nalini suggested, would love for you to tag your friends that you'd like to invite to join the next call to help us spread the word and grow this radically generous community. So if everyone is ready, I'm going to go full screen here and we can take a couple of celebratory photos. So it looks like we'll have 2 screens of radically generous women. Typically we like to share our expression and what this call was like, whether we throw our hands in the air or do a heart or some kind of physical gesture. And if you've ever seen these on our posts or other people's, we know that a small gesture doesn't really capture the energy on a screenshot. So we'd love for you to go over the top and let's see those gestures. So we're gonna do on the count of 3. Is everyone ready? Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. I'm gonna take another one and then now we're on the second screen. So I love Olivia's going a big heart like this. So let's see what everyone else is doing. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to pass it back to Nalini for final words.
So thank you so much, Jessie. Those pictures will be posted up on LinkedIn, and so please feel free to tag yourself if you're not already tagged, and also to share with everyone else. Hashtag SheEO Magic, and I really want to encourage you to step into radical generosity, whether it's through joining us today, following us, and getting involved in the conversation and thinking about joining us. But we hope that you do. And the deadline is by January if you'd like to vote in this final round of voting for the first set of finalists coming out of the UK. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone. Congrats to the semifinalists. So exciting. And if you'd like to save the chat, please do so now before we end the call. So to do that, you can just go into the chat